Surveillance. Good morning, everyone. Guy Johnson in London. I'm Tom Keene in New York. We're going to digress right now. We've got the horrific news out of Europe, and we'll continue on that through the hour and, of course, on Bloomberg television and radio through the morning. I want to bring this up. Rob Hormat's with us with Kissinger Associates, and we've dragged out of the Trump Tower Betsy McCoy, of course, the former lieutenant governor of New York, an early supporter for Mr. Trump. And Bob, you know, maybe she can migrate you over to State Department again to do the good work you've done the last couple of years. Betsy, I want to go right to this chart, which is the Trump promise of economic growth. And we're going to look at the integrating here, which is this is what we knew in the 90s, this good news here of a 4-year moving average. And this is where we are now, which is why your guy got elected.
That's right.
What is going to be the rate of change of policy to migrate us back to a 3% economy?
Rapid. First of all, the tax cuts, expect them to come sooner rather than later. We know that Kevin Brady from the House and Orrin Hatch from the Senate are already on the same page about the need for these tax cuts, the size of these tax cuts, and the importance of getting them done quickly. Secondly, deregulation, which is going to have...
Can that happen quickly?
Pardon?
Deregulation.
Very quickly, because it's mostly right out of the executive branch, and those cabinet members are committed on day one to sweeping away the regulations. Right. Number 3, cheap energy, and that's going to have a tremendous impact on manufacturing.
I want to know what we're going to get done by Valentine's Day. What I would suggest, Betsy, is within the transition mix, we're in an odd place after the election and before the inauguration. What do you observe about filling the next 200 jobs?
I observe that they're going to be filled quickly. They're going to be filled with people who are agents of change. You can see already...
Write this name down, Hormats, H-O-R-M-A-T-S.
That's right. Believe me, I'm for Bob Hormats in any job, anywhere.
But seriously, how are we going to get the next 200 bodies? I get the first 20 bodies.
Well, you can see that the Trump transition is already ahead of schedule in terms of naming cabinet and sub-cabinet people.
That's true, Bob, isn't it? I mean, it's happening very quickly,
I think he's moved quickly. And if he were even a little slower, I wouldn't criticize him. I want him to take his time and pick good people. I think some people try to rush it, but I think he is ahead. Right. And these people are all, as Betsy says, stimulus, pro-growth types, too.
That's right, and many of them coming from outside Washington. Their biggest obstacle, the 3 million strong army of bureaucrats in Washington who will dig in their heels and resist change. Bigger obstacle than the Democratic Party.
Let me ask a question. We've got a little strap at the bottom of the screen showing what's happening with the dollar. Is there such a thing as a too strong U.S. dollar?
Well, that is always a problem because, of course, it makes it harder for exporters and of course, cheaper for consumers. So it's two sides of the same coin. I think it is ultimately, in the long run, a problem if you want to boost manufacturing, but I wouldn't worry about it at this point. We want a strong dollar. It's just one more sign of optimism. And let me add there that I think it's a real contrast between what Donald Trump is projecting in terms of growth, what the OECD has now adjusted its growth projections to be 3% by 2018, and Janet Yellen, who keeps saying, well, our economy isn't capable of more than 1.8% growth, and she says it's because of a lack of innovation. That's like saying we have the light bulb, we can't have anything more. Of course there will be more innovation.
Betsy, back to the issue of who's going to fill the key jobs. How many more will come from Wall Street, do you think?
How many more from Wall Street?
Will come from Wall Street, yeah.
I predict there will be more from Wall Street, but there's probably been almost too much emphasis on drawing people from Wall Street. Donald Trump is drawing people from all kinds of corporate sectors, and that's really important. He's taking people who have run major international businesses and saying, you have the skills to be in government. What a refreshing change from just putting the same old political hacks back Betsy, into office.
Thank you so much, Hormats, H-O-R-M-A-T-S.
I agree.
Thank you so much with her support.